He got pro.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw.
Good morning, Southern Fried Podcast fans, and all of our people out there at Cornbread Nation. We're so glad you're out there. We love us some breadheads. And yes, you can have Southern Pride. I just can't say it when I'm announcing the Southern Fried Podcast. But I'm so sorry. Me and David have been joking and cutting up this morning. I've got an accent stuck in my head and it's messing me up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I've got allergies and my voice sounds horrible, but hey, I'm glad to be here. It's Friday. Yes. I hope that you got to watch the Cornbread Nation show from last night, episode number 3. Wow. That was fun.
And we're so proud of y'all for surviving the work week.
Yes.
You just got to make it through the day, and you got this. It's weekend time. And I've got company all weekend long. It's going to be great.
Is it weekend at Bernie's?
No, I'm lying. Weekend at Bernie's was about Bernie Sanders after he kicked the bucket. He kicked the bucket a few years ago. There's still people moving him around there in the Congress. They sit him in different seats. They have him. Good morning, Killer Carl. Happy Friday. They had him at the talking for him at the confirmations this week with RFK Jr. And RFK Jr.'s over going. Yeah, it was great. You thought it was about Joe Biden? No. About Bernie this morning.
Well,
it's about Bernie this morning.
You just see
I don't reckon we got no reason for these old butt up there no more.
Can you just see Biden and him at the old folks' home?
Yeah. What's wrong with him? Why ain't he moving? I don't reckon he got no gas in him. Mm-hmm. He let it all out on the way up here.
Now you got to do that voice in the Chinese voice you were doing before the show.
I don't know. Okay. Let me see.
You're right, Killer
Carl.
Oh,
why you go there? Why you don't got no gas in it? Why? Mm-hmm. you need to eat some broccoli.
You're gonna rip your throat out here.
Huh?
Oh man. He's like, yeah, he is. He's like the guy. He'd be in the old folks' home. Bernie would be the guy going around that everybody gets the same amount of gruel. Everybody gets the same amount. Yeah, and Biden be giving it all away.
Yeah. Bernie'd be like, I don't take donations from Big Pharma. I don't take it. I'm not taking that pill. It comes from Big Pharma. And RFK Jr. be over there like, well, yes, you do. You take money from Big Pharma. You had it all. Now, I thought this would come up. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, we could do this.
Oh, Bernie. Lazy guy. All he's ever done is just his line has never changed. He made a career out of the same thing.
Yeah. And he has never accomplished any of it.
Never.
Has he accomplished anything his entire 537 years in Congress?
Not much.
I mean, he's been there since the nation was founded, sitting up there. No, I don't think so. That's wrong. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it the way I say. Y'all don't like it. I don't care. You got to get the Bernie frown going here. You got to be like, no, shut up, George. You don't know what you're talking about. Lincoln, sit down, be quiet. If them Yankees want to shoot them Rebs, they just wrong. Them Rebs want to shoot them Yankees, they just wrong. Y'all just all wrong. Oh, Richard, what? He wasn't over there in that other building, that Watergate Hotel. He wasn't over there. No. He's been there all the way through. Nuts. Yeah, Jimmy, you just throw them nuts down there.
And he suckers the unions in every time. I mean, they follow him. They just follow over themselves. Oh, we like the way this guy talks. What a great guy. That's the kind of politician we need. And, he doesn't win. I mean, he doesn't win big things. I mean, he stayed in Congress, but he doesn't win. But he just sits around. I mean, he just sits around saying the same old crapola.
Well, he sits around bitches and gripes. He's originally one of those old guys from the Muppets that are up in the thing. They're griping the whole time. Hey, when's the show going to start? Show's been going on for 30 minutes. When's the show going to start? Well, you going to get funny anytime soon? You must entertain me.
They got to wake him up, every few minutes. He starts snoring.
Oh.
Well, that might be Joe.
That's Joe, too. They're sitting side by side. They're like the Bobbsey twins. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I don't know which one's which on that.
I will say this for the rest of the world. The rest of the world has to look over at America and go, man, they got some dumb politicians.
No, it's not the politicians' fault. They can't help their level of mental retardation. They can't help it. It's the idiots that keep voting for them. That's where the problem lays. They can't help it.
I just have a feeling that leaders in among the rogue nations they have to be in their presidential palace laughing, eating popcorn. Oh, must see TV. I mean, they're watching the confirmation hearings. Xi over China. Oh, we got to keep that RFK Jr. guy out. I mean,
Hey, Chuck. The Chucker's done piled up in here. He's done heard me in here yelling. He's like, Daddy, why are you yelling? Come here. Oh, come here. Oh,
Killer Carl, how you doing today, brother? How's things in your area of the world, Killer Carl? I hope you're having a wonderful Friday so far.
Yes, we are going to have a great and wonderful day today. It's nice and warm here in South Georgia. I still think Cash Patel's response, and it's gone viral now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kubichar said, I wish, will you sit with me for the 5 hours it'll take to go through all this stuff? They're getting on tour about taking clips and stuff out and running here, running there, and just trying to set their narrative. And he looked at her and said, you've got 2 minutes.
Shout out to Yanni the Manny in here from Instagram. We appreciate you this morning.
Yes, good morning.
It is a glorious Friday. We will have tonight, don't forget, our front porch talking. Rod, do we have a guest tonight? I don't remember. Or is it open? It's just open porch tonight.
I think it's just open play tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we've got any guests tonight, unless somebody wants to come up. We'll definitely do that. But if we have anybody that would like to do that, they can let us know.
Let me double check all that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're open tonight. It's the last day. Hey, today's the last day of January. Tomorrow's going to be the first day of February.
But don't forget our good friend Steve at Half Pine Forge at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, an hour before we go live, is going live with Half Pine Forge Live. We're going to try to check in with him tonight. Go and give him a follow on Rumble. That's where you'll find that out. Rumble. Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. And he will be live from
rolling
the Smithy.
Oh, well, we're going to talk to him about it first, but I'm quite sure we're going to do something along with that just to honor at some point in time. We have got to do this because he's one of our favorite people, but, we're going to give him a maybe give him a special shout out tonight.
Yeah, we will.
So technically,
will.
we would have a guest. Oh, yes. So, what is in the news this
Well,
morning?
I
Just
want
a
to
start
say,
your day off right.
just real quick. Of course, investigation is still going on, but the pilot of the chopper was from Lilburn, Georgia. Leaves behind a wife and a 1-year-old. Pray for all the families. There was also, I think, ice skating group, if I remember right, or something like that. That was a part of it. But this one, he went to Parkview High School, and he was a part of the ROTC there, and he was a part of the 2014 class of the JROTC. And so they're giving a shout out to him this morning. They were on a training mission. It has now been announced. It was not just shuttling somebody in, and this crew is experienced. They had made that journey before, but they did have a I wouldn't call it a near miss the day before, but they had to have a plane do a fly around because there was a flight path issue going on with the same thing. I don't know if it was in the same area. Of course, they've been talking about the staffing and all that. They'll look into all that. They say they had enough people there; it wasn't unsafe. I don't know, but it is a congested little area as they come up through there. You
Yeah.
can go on and they show the path of both of them. It's just so
Well,
horrible. But they have not
okay.
found the black boxes yet. They believe they're going to be able to, and there is from the military. They believe they have something on that craft that will give telemetry and all that as well. They're hopeful that the DoD will share that information with them. I believe they will.
Yeah.
It's a lot of organizations involved here, from FAA to NTSB. I mean, the military,
Yeah.
the airline pilots association, stewardess unions. I mean, there's a lot of different entities that are ongoing.
Yeah.
It's just truly sad.
And see, they when you were talking about the I'm gonna get back to it. Uh, um, the amount of air traffic controllers, they said that it was fine, that they weren't understaffed. Well, they called for 30 and they had 19.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
sounds
there's
even to
no
me.
excuse. There's no
Yeah,
excuse. If it was 19, it's supposed to be 30. Then the FFA has determined that they were understaffed. It's not up to them to decide that.
it is the
Mhm.
worst. They say the worst U.S. aviation disaster in over 2 decades, which goes to show you that. And I guess that would be because of the totality, the number, because there has been some
Yeah,
aviation, smaller planes and stuff. But that's amazing that think of all the thousands and thousands and thousands of flights every day. I mean, and
yeah.
they do a good job. I mean, it is safe, but they got to fix this, and they know that there's a problem here, and they know it.
Well,
But
they knew it.
anyway, shout out to those people as those names are coming out. Those
Yeah.
families' lives have been just ripped apart.
God
So
bless you.
one
Give
of
you
our
peace.
one of our own from Georgia. I mean, it touches home here. Yeah, they
The,
were
the,
U.S. figure skaters and coaches were on the plane.
yeah, it says here that the skaters killed in the crash were Olympic hopefuls.
Wow, wow.
My goodness.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
everybody on that plane. Everybody has a story. From the crew to the passengers to the three in the Black Hawk. It was a Black Hawk helicopter.
Yeah.
Uh, and they just never saw each other. There was no warning, and what a horrible thing.
Yeah.
I know and I know we think like this. I think that all of us would say we hope that there was no suffering, that it was just instantaneous. Nobody knows but the good Lord. But I do hope that. I hope that there was, no. I just hope it was over very quickly. Uh, tragic as it was, I would hope that they didn't suffer. I mean, I would think because of the explosion stuff, it's pretty instantaneous for most of them, if not all. So I hope. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's what a mess. What a mess. It's just horrible. What about Trump? He says he's issuing tariffs on Canada and Mexico tomorrow, and we'll see where that goes. There's some numbers of about the amount of the barrels of oil that is imported from Canada and Mexico, and Trump wants to tariff that, and drill baby drill here, do more here. It is
Yeah.
a significant number of the 13.5 million barrels a day that is used in America. About over 3 million is being imported between
Yeah.
Mexico and Canada. That seems
Yeah.
significant to me.
That does to me
And we're,
too. You know,
so
tax it. Put some tariffs on it. I mean, we need to drill here anyway. And they need to open up these refineries. Hey, start producing, produce. You know. So there's something that happened that I really, 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 really want to kind of push out here. I think Donald Trump really helped Cash Patel yesterday. I really do. Uh, it came out yesterday that the Trump administration has told top officials at the FBI to resign or lose their jobs. And this is from Fox. And it was the exact number has not been disclosed, but the ultimatum was allegedly given to senior employees promoted under former director Christopher Wray. I hope I'm saying his name right. Well, Cash Patel didn't know he was saying that had been done. And he says, I have no interest, no desire, and will not, if confirmed, go backwards. There will be no politicization at the FBI. There will be no retributive actions taken. That's what he said at the Senate Judiciary Committee. He learned, let's see. I was given no rationale for this decision, which, as you might imagine, has come as a shock. That's what he said. But he's already said he said he was not aware of the things going on at the meeting. So here's my thought. Cash Patel's already said, the era of politicizing the FBI is over. So here Donald Trump goes through and says this, and he's still saying that the era of politicization of the FBI is over. He's not going to back that up. He's not going to be retributive. He's already confirmed that. He's going to go forward. There will be no politicalization at the FBI. There will be no retributive actions taken. So I'm wondering, did he just give Cash Patel a leg up there?
Well, I'm sure, he wants to get them through. So words have power. They're
Yeah.
keying on everything it's said. So, he's trying to lend a hand, I'm sure.
Yeah. I thought that was, if that's the case, that's a pretty smart way to go about it. He diminished himself to push him up. I don't think it's necessarily diminishing himself, but you know what I mean.
Well, I just think, and I've said this to people, that all the people that said we need to go after all these people and stuff. Well, what happens is if you lose the next election, they just come right back at you. We just need to fix the issue and hopefully stop it. Put some protections in place so it can't be used like that. Because no side should be illegally going after Americans. I mean, that's the whole point here. We don't want our government going rogue on the American citizen. If you've committed a crime, a true crime, then investigate stuff. But all these midnight, bust through your door with a camera crew in tow, it is politicized, and they've just tried to destroy people with the legal arm of the United States. Good citizens, and it's just all been for personal gratification and or to stop their opposition.
And it's been all about you're going to do what we say, when we say, how we say. Okay, let's face it. If you don't act on their timeline, you're going to get your doors kicked in. That's not the way. I know we don't operate.
Well, and think about and all these people. I mean, if Donald Trump wasn't the successful businessman that he has been, he would be in the poorhouse. He has lost a fortune through this, where they've just took his money. That's what they've done. and they continue to do that. He's weathered the storm because he's, some billionaire, multi-billionaire. But American citizens don't have that kind of ability to, even if
No.
you're right, they can outlast you. They just drain you, and it gets draining. And you look at a guy like Roger Stone, and Roger Stone, who got a pardon from the president, but they're still trying to come after him financially, and
Yeah.
it has damaged him. I mean, they're older, and he's trying to make money through his podcast and selling things and all that on his store and whatever, because they're trying to make money because they've exhausted all of their finances trying to defend themselves. And that's what they do, Rob. They just wear you down
Yeah.
emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, you name it. And in some cases, people have, in the case of the J6ers, they committed suicide. They just got wore down. They just took them to a dark place, and they just couldn't handle it. And that's what they do, man. They just keep on battering you and battering you. It's horrible.
There needs to be, I think that whole thing there needs to be investigated hard, hard. You know, this is not the way you're supposed to treat your own people. You shouldn't even treat other people, citizens of other nations like that. But you're going to treat your own citizens that way? That shows, therein shows where the mindset of our government is now, or some of the ones up there. They wouldn't all do it, but the ones that would do that, that shows their mindset. They are many dictators. These people in Congress or whatever that just keep hounding and hounding and hounding. They're like on individuals, even the ones that did it to Trump. I mean, they're little fascists. You know, you're going to do what we say when we say how we say. Put your jackboots on the right way, or we're coming
Yeah,
after you.
yeah.
Come on.
On a lighter note, Rob, it was so nice to step out of the house to come back to the studio. How
Yeah.
warm it was this morning. I have not felt
Oh,
that kind of warmth in a while. It was nice. Man,
dude,
I'm telling you, the temperatures are awesome. We do have rain, but the temperatures are awesome.
I walked out yesterday and I thought it's kind of chilly. I wear my flannel. Man, I was sweating by the time I got home. Loved it.
I
Hmm.
mean, we're getting into some good stuff. Now I know we're going to get hit again. It's winter, but it is nice to get a reprieve from all that, the cold. I love that.
Let me see what our forecast is. I know yesterday it was well up into the 70s. We're supposed to get rain today. 74 is the high and 48 is the low. I'm sorry. Hang on just a second.
We're 42 for the low, and then we have 62, I believe, as a high for today. That's awful nice. I love it. So it's going to be a 10 days or so at least of warmer temperatures, warm weather, some rain. I mean, it's like spring. It's incredible. I'm so happy.
Yeah, we got it says on here by next Wednesday we're going to be up to 77 and 57 for the low. I'll take that. But I was looking out on the way extended forecast that ain't never right. Uh, through February the 9th, the high is 69. I mean, we got an 81 scheduled up, dialed in for Thursday, February the 6th. And that's a long ways out. But could you imagine it being 80 degrees in February?
That's crazy, man. Crazy.
I'll take it, dude. I'll
And
take it.
shout out to Michaela Blakes, who plays for Vanderbilt University. She set an SEC record, 53 points, 16 field goals, and 16 free throws to help number 23 Vanderbilt beat Florida 99-86 on Thursday night. Good job,
Wow.
Michaela Blakes. 53, man. That's a lot in
Wow.
a college game, man.
Yeah, it
Wow.
is. Wow. That
It,
is
it is
awesome.
the and it is also the second most points by a freshman in Division One history, behind Delaware's Elena Dunn, who scored 54 and lost to James Madison as a redshirt freshman in 2010. That's epic right there. I mean, we think about it.
Absolutely.
So good job. Good job. Super Bowl's coming up. I know Platinum Wins, one of our listeners. Big Philadelphia fan. It'd be Philadelphia and the Kansas City Chiefs. Can that great Philly team, which is loaded on the defensive side of the ball with Georgia Bulldog players who have been shining? One of them got hurt, not make the Super Bowl, but there are still a number of them on the field, and they're making a difference. And can they stop the mighty Mahomes and the Travis Kelce? And yes, Taylor Swift. Oh, how many times? I bet you in Vegas there is a betting line on how many times they will show Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm sure.
We ought to look that up and see what the line is. You know that's got to be a betting line. You know it does.
Let's see. What is the betting line for how many times they show Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl? Let's see here. We have Taylor Swift Super Bowl early prop bets include on-field kiss, number of TV appearances.
I told you.
Oh my goodness.
So what's the on-field kiss? Is that like how many times, or?
I don't know. I'm looking it up. I'm trying to get down to this.
You know, if they win, I mean, it's going to be at least one. I mean, they're going to get the shot of that, but
it's not given. Okay. Here's 10 of the Super Bowl prop bets related to Swift below. Here's how the odds work. If it's minus 150, it means favored. If you need to risk 15 to win 10. If the number is plus 110, okay, then it means underdog, and you need to risk 10 to win 11. Okay. Will Taylor Swift be seen during the national anthem?
Well, they got to make sure her head's over her heart, you know.
Yeah. How many times will Taylor Swift be shown live? They're saying 6.5 times.
Oh, that's a pretty good bet right there.
What will happen first? Either team scores a touchdown or a Taylor Swift live shot.
Man, that's pretty interesting there.
Who will be shown more times? Jason Kelce or Taylor Swift?
Well, that's a pretty good one too, and that's tough.
Yeah,
because he's funny. I mean, that one playoff game where he was drinking beer and jumping through the window and all that. I mean, he got on camera a lot.
Yes, he did. Here's a good one. Will a picture of Taylor Swift in Eagles gear be shown?
No. I say no.
Will Taylor Swift appear on stage with Kendrick Lamar during the halftime show?
I will say no on that as well.
I'll say no too.
Because they've not done it before, and I don't think they'll play that. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. Will Kendrick Lamar or onstage guest mention Taylor Swift? I'd say no. Will Kendrick Lamar perform Bad Blood cover song? How many times will Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce kiss on field after the game?
Well, that's a tough one.
They're saying 2.5 kisses. What do you think? Yay or nay?
I say yay. I think I would take the over on that. I think it's 3 times at least.
Okay. Oh. Will Travis Kelce, are you ready for this? Propose to Taylor Swift after the game.
There's a lot of rumors about that. I don't think it would happen there. I also think there's a possibility he might retire after this game if they win. He's been playing for a while, and he's got a lot of stuff in front of him. He loves to play the game, but he's getting older. Dude, he's been playing 13, 14 years now, I think it is. I think if they win another one, I think it is a possibility. I don't think he would announce it there though. But I don't, I don't think there's a lot of talk about when they're going to do that. I don't think so though.
That would be cool though. I mean, that would be something for a superstar to have done to them. Like Taylor Swift. I mean, she's big and superstardom and all that. And she's seen it all and done it all. But to be proposed to after the Super Bowl, how do you top that? Romantically and all that
there's
kind
always
of
that
stuff.
possibility, but every time they've made these predictions, they've been wrong. Every time. I heard this every Super Bowl. They've come out with this kind of stuff. But, this could be the one. Who knows? That's why you have bets out there. It's a way to chance it.
Yeah.
Or that's what Vegas does it. They're willing to let you lay your money down.
I don't like that. I don't like that kind of stuff. But we'll see what happens. It would tickle me to death if he ended up doing that, or if they decide to have a more private, intimate moment for that. I'm fine with that. I just it would. I think it would be awfully. It would be cool. I mean, she'd never top that. That'd be the greatest proposal ever.
Well, yeah, but the thing is you kind of are taken away from the team thing, and I don't think the players would appreciate that or the ownership, because it's not individuals, it's team, and you're promoting team, and I just think that probably would be considered a little bit out of bounds. My opinion. You never know. Kelsey's.
What if the whole team got involved and they like form the ranks and they have him come up through and then take a knee right there and offer the ring, and they're all involved in it? That would be a little bit different.
But see, you don't want to plan something like that, because if you lose this game, and they can lose this game, then you've just messed up, because there's no way you can go through with that now.
The refs will never allow it. They'll never allow it.
Philly's great, man, on defense. Now, Mahomes is amazing. I like Kansas City. I like both teams, actually. I'm not taking anything away from Mahomes. And they certainly can win this game. Their defense is really good, and he's a magician, man. He finds a way to win.
Right.
But I'm telling you, Philly, with that running game they got going right now, they're loaded, man. I just think this game could be a Philly win. I really – it's hard to three-peat, dude. It is hard to three-peat.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think that Phillies may have the upper hand. What's the line on the game? I haven't looked. We'll have to look that up. I don't know the line on it, but I'd be interested to see who they favor. They probably favored Kansas City a little bit because they have been, their stature. And by the way, Andy Reid is amazing. I mean, he's so smart, man. His play calling he just finds a way, man. He's so smart about how to call a game. And like I say, their defense is really good. But that Philly defense is disruptive. It's got to be less than a field goal, I would think. A field goal or less. It can't be much. They're just too good. There's no way it's more than that, I would think. I can see it being 1.5, 2 points. Or 3. At max to me. If it's more than that, I'd be shocked. It means there's some money being laid somewhere.
All right. Chiefs are favored by 1.5 points.
That sounds about right. That's where I would put it.
1.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a very, these are both, you don't get there by accident. They went through some really good teams to get there. Both teams. I will just say this. There are some injuries on both teams, which has an effect, which by the time you get to Super Bowl, you do. Philly, up until the last game or so, had some trouble on offense. They did. They really, but they've really seemed to straighten that out. Hurts had some bad games. He was holding on the ball too long. And but I'm telling you, the ground game is amazing. But Kansas City's now got the two-headed monster at running back with Pacheco back, and you got Hunt, and they're killing it. and I think that maybe Kelsey's he's a deal breaker, but Philly may have a little bit better firepower through the air right now. Mahomes and his group, they're not throwing as long. Philly can light you up deep. Mahomes, they seem to work their way down the field. They ball control and they dink and dunk and get but it's successful. So like I said,
Yeah.
can that defense stop that? That's the question.
And
I think Philly
another,
scores on Kansas City. It's how much do they stop or slow down Mahomes? Not stop, slow down.
yeah. Another interesting aspect to this game, I think, is Mahomes Hurts combination. I mean, it's two former Alabama quarterbacks, right?
No, Mahomes was not
Uh,
from there.
who was
Just
Mahomes from?
Hurts.
I thought huh?
No, I can't remember the school he played for, but no, not
Okay.
Alabama.
I'm
But
sorry.
you do have all of the Georgia players. I mean, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, Keely Ringo's on that defense, Nolan Smith's on that defense. We did have another one, but he got hurt, and there may even be one more. Man, they are loaded up with, and the other players are great too. I mean, they're loaded on the defensive side of the ball. But you've got AJ Brown on offense. He's a beast, man, and you've got the great running back that they have now. He's running over people. I think he's the key here for Philly. I mean, if he's running good on that defense for KC, they're in trouble. That's what I'll say. Because
Okay.
Philly, the dude is running crazy, touchdowns, long runs, tough runs, you name it. So
Wow.
it's gonna be a fun one. This will be a good Super Bowl to watch. Some of them are, man, they're just junk. This one will be a good Super Bowl to watch.
I don't know
So
why. He went to Texas Tech. Mahomes
yeah,
did.
that's right, Texas. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I was thinking somewhere out in the Midwest. I couldn't remember. I
I don't know
like
why I
them.
was thinking he was from Alabama. Why was I
I don't
thinking that?
know.
I think it's
Well,
probably because he looked like.
they've had so many. Well, yeah, they've had so many good players. I mean,
Yeah, they've been yeah, but still, I mean, these quarterbacks aren't that old. Neither one of them are they? How old is Mahomes?
do I?
How old is Mahomes? Neither
Not
one of
very
them's
old.
really
He's
that
been playing
old,
for
are
a
they?
few years. No, they're not. They're going to be around a while. Long
He's
careers.
29. Mahomes is 29.
He's going to be fine for several years. That's why I say if they win this thing, they have a chance to go on to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest team of all time. They,
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is
I mean,
26.
with him at the helm,
Yeah,
they, they've got the recipe going on there, man. I've always liked Kansas
wow.
City. I'm a Falcons fan, but I've always liked Kansas City. But they had a time when they weren't winning very good. But when Andy Reid come in and they started putting all that team together, and Mahomes was the
Yeah,
key man. When they got him, wow. And
and they've
Travis
got
Kelsey's game, he was just elevated with him.
and I'm kind of liking Philadelphia just because of all the former Georgia players on there. But you got Jalen Hurts at 26. He's going to be there for a long time too. Both
Yeah,
quarterbacks are.
they're really a two very similar organizations, and what they've done in each case is I would just say on Philly's side, their coach is younger. Andy at some point, well, who knows how long he's going to coach. I'm not saying he's getting ready to retire, but he's a lot older. But they've built these teams to be in for the long haul, to win now and in the future. It's
Yeah.
amazing, man. They're loaded up, man. It's crazy.
So part of me wants to cheer for the three-peat just because
That,
it is hard.
yeah,
But
I like both teams. I really do. I would. I mean, it wouldn't bother me a bit to see Philly win and all the Georgia guys get a ring.
yeah,
It, but I like Kansas City. I like Mahomes. I know some people crack on him about the refs
yeah,
and everything, but his talent level is no doubt. They are
yeah,
ticky
yeah,
on some of the calls around him. They are. It's he's a star.
yeah. And those refs, some of that stuff just cracks me up. Some of the fun that they've had with it. and making fun with the rest. Some of the memes and stuff that are out there, the little short clips that they fake and stuff that are just funny. Uh, you know, but
Hey,
there
there's
again, there's
breaking news.
jealousy involved in that too.
8 minutes ago, Rob, there's breaking news. The first American hostage to be released by Hamas. So we've been calling
Oh,
for the American citizens to be released as well. That's a Fox breaking news 8 minutes ago. So I don't know the name yet, but thank God they're getting him out or her out. I don't know if it's him or her. It's just said American hostage, and their family, and of course all the families of the missing, they'll all be on the. They probably already know. They probably already told them that they're getting out, but I don't know if you saw the video, Rob, of the old man, the 80-year-old, and the young girl they released the other day. That young girl, Hamas, the terror organization, was having to keep their own people back with threats. The people were trying to lynch that girl, man. They were trying to get to her. And the terrorists themselves were pushing their own people back. They were trying their best to get to that girl. They were going to kill her, man. That's what we're dealing with there, man. It was a massive crowd, massive. They were trying to get her to a Red Cross ambulance, and that
yeah.
girl, poor girl, is so traumatized, man. And they forced her to do waves and stuff at the crowd, with under threat of weapons and stuff and videos. This girl is going to have a long. All of them are, but I felt so sorry for her. I'm so glad she's out, reunited with her mom and dad. But she was
Yeah.
just, full of tears and you could see the fear in her face, man. Can you imagine going through a crowd where they want to rip you to shreds? I mean, and so young. I mean, yeah, I don't want to. I mean, in one way, you want to say you're glad that Hamas kept them back, but another way, you're the jacklegs that put her in this position. But
Yeah.
in a sense, they were saving her life as she's going out. I mean, it's a weird dynamic, man. And all the people are putting the phones in her face and they're screaming, and yelling, and what a stupid plan to bring them through like that. Really?
They did that on purpose, dude.
Well, I know, but I mean,
You know,
my God, that was just horrible, man. Just horrible.
and if those people had gotten through, they'd have tore her to pieces
They would
because
have.
they're animals.
They would have absolutely, and there's precedent on this. In
Yeah.
many years ago, there were two soldiers, Israeli soldiers, who took a wrong turn in a jeep, and they went in. I think it was the town of Jenin, which is a terrorist hellhole. I'll just say it. It is. It's another failure of the UN. All this crap. They got to fix this. But anyway, they grabbed them before they knew what had happened. These young boys, yes, there's military, but they're very young. They grabbed them and threw them into a local jail, 2-story little jail there. Well, then they just opened the cells and let the people come up. They literally ripped them boys to shreds, and there were men who went to the window showing their bloody hands, and they smeared it all over their body. This is the blood of the soldiers, and the crowd is just going crazy. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't care who you're for in this. I don't care if you're siding with the Palestinians, you're siding with the Israelis. That is just, there's no humanity there. I mean, you don't do people like that.
And these
How
are
can you
supposed to
do
be
people like that?
people of peace. They keep trying to shovel down our throats that these are people of peace. Oh, they've been mistreated and they've done that. Well, every time you try to treat them decent, they come through and undermine you. I mean, come on. Some people want war. Some people want to hurt other people. There are people like that out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a nation of them. I mean, we ran across that with Germany and the Jews. Not all Germans were like that, but there were some. There was quite a few. There was enough to run that government. And a lot of that may have been fear, but I don't care. The nation stood behind it. They were turning in Jews left and right. And the same thing is going on over there as far as Hamas is whipping everybody in that area up to stand against Israel. They're still going after Jews.
It's a hard video to watch, man. I'm so glad she's out. And
Yeah.
the 80-year-old man, he was hugging her before they would bring. I think it was before. I don't know if it was after or before they were bringing him out, just trying to comfort her. And thank God he's 80. Thank God he got out.
Yeah.
Uh, just unbelievable, man.
Hmm.
Just unbelievable.
All right. The first American hostage to be released from Gaza, Keith Siegel,
Okay.
American Israeli, is set to be released Saturday. But maybe that's not it. I thought it was.
Well, that I don't know.
To be released, so it hadn't
to
been
be
released.
released.
So maybe that's the one that came out.
It may be.
Mine's not
they have
updated yet.
what they do is they submit a name. They don't tell them sometimes. Sometimes they're supposed to be a small handful Saturday, I think, and they don't always tell them who's alive and who's dead either. But I think on this one they must know. Um, so and on Fox
Why are we?
also
Why
there's
are we
also a new
releasing?
article on Fox that says the investigators recover the black boxes. They've now got the black
Yeah,
boxes.
they got both of them.
Because they were announcing late into the night, they didn't have those, so that's good.
And here's a thought I have for you. Why are we releasing hundreds to one on hostages
That's the way it goes.
versus the ones that are in jail?
That's the way it goes, and Israel does this, and it's the people saying, "I don't care what you got to do, get my baby home." And what I will say is this, Rob. What I will say is this, and people, it's just the facts. These people ain't getting away with it. If it takes 20 years,
They're not going to get away with it.
Take it as far as you want, but
It's a
I'll
crying
just say
shame that they've gotten away with it.
they don't need to be showing themselves too much. I'll say that because
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
now it's get the
absolutely.
hostages out. Later it will be we're coming after you. That's truth, man.
Yeah.
That's truth. They'll do it.
And the whole world will stand against Israel for doing that, but they're absolutely right to do it. I know it says in the Bible, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But sometimes you gotta, David did kill Goliath,
Well, they're Jewish, so they're going Old Testament, eye for an eye. I mean,
Yeah. I know.
honestly, they're not letting them get away with it, man.
Eye for an eye.
They're not. I'm telling you, drone strike, Mossad, whatever. They're walking up. They're dead men walking. I'll just say that they're dead men
Yeah.
walking.
And they know
Whoever's
their names.
involved,
They know their
as well.
names. They know what
They
they
know
look
everything
like.
about them.
Yeah. They'll find these people. It'll take a while, but one will turn up dead here, and one will turn up dead there, and one will.
I mean, how do we know they didn't put something in their body that tracks them?
Yeah.
How do we know? I'm just saying.
How we know that they put some in their time release to end them?
I'm just saying. It is. It's an ugly game. It is.
That would almost be funny and poetic that the day after they got everybody out. Old Bit Netanyahu says, "Okay, give me that button." Click.
Yeah.
And all those guys go. That would be.
I mean, we could swing this around. When the Germans went into Russia and nearly toppled Russia, the brutality of Russian homeland was bad. I mean, the Germans were brutal. We know that. Well, when the Russians turned that and they started running the Germans out and were coming after them, the Germans were glad to find Americans or anybody to surrender to because they knew what the Russians were going to do when they got to them. They knew what because they've been doing it to Russians. So the Russians came back in and they were going to do it back. That's just the thing, man. And they did.
And those Germans were not ready for, number one, the brutality of a Russian winter, and number two, the brutality that the Russians were going to give back to them.
Yeah, they had a good idea, but they weren't ready for all that. So there was many of them who surrendered. They were looking for Americans, Canadians, British, Australians, They were ready to surrender because they knew they couldn't stop the Russian onslaught that was coming. So they were
Yeah.
glad to. They were many of them glad to give themselves up.
That's I do find humor in that. I mean, because here goes Germany again. Oh, we're gonna do what we want to. Oh crap! It was like a scene from Monty Python. It's just a bunny. Attack! And it's run away, run away.
Do you want to feel old today, Rob? I got
No.
news that will make you feel old.
Oh Lord, what's that?
Guess who just turned 80 years old? God, this makes me feel old. Tom
Who?
Selleck.
Oh wow! I know he was getting up there, but
years old.
uh,
We think of things as just a little time ago. They were decades ago.
yeah, Magnum PI and all that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Higgy baby.
Yeah. Oh man, and the Dobermans.
Oh yeah. What was that? Bruce Apollo
And
or
Apollo.
Zeus and Apollo?
Zeus and Apollo. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where Bruce came from, but Zeus and Apollo.
Well, Zeus, Bruce, they rhyme. Yeah, Zeus and Apollo. Oh man, that was amazing.
That was a fun show.
Yes.
How many
Another
times
fun
did
show. Huh?
seeing Higgins blow up when he would blow up when Magnum would do something? My
Yes.
God, he'd have that little British. My God, man.
And they were doing the thing against each other where they had their little competitions one time. And he had called him on the phone as doing the song there. And then he blew up his little toothpick bridge.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make you feel old as well, too. Now, we're a little bit off from the birth date of this, but when did the first episode of Mork and Mindy air? I know you saw Mork and Mindy.
I will guess and say April 1978.
That was a very good guess. September 14th, 1978.
Wow.
So I was 8 years old when Mork and Mindy came out. You take 8 from my age, I'll be 54. 46 years ago, Mork and Mindy came out.
Wow. Yeah, I should have thought because it's a fall show, so that would have been the fall.
Yeah.
When they released. So, but I don't.
Wow.
In the first season, it wasn't until Jonathan Winters didn't show up in the first season, did he? I don't think.
No, it was like toward the end that Jonathan Winters showed up. Yeah. Did Mork and Mindy have a baby? Despite the show's steady decline, ABC agreed to a 4th season of Mork and Mindy, but executives wanted changes. The show began to include special guest stars this year. At the beginning of the 4th season, Mork and Mindy got married. Jonathan Winters, one of Williams' idols, was brought in as their child.
Oh yeah.
So it's the 4th season.
I mean, honestly, the only reason that show worked because of the genius of Robin Williams and later Jonathan Winters, which is a great dynamic. And she was good. I can't think of her name.
Yeah.
But you can only play on that so long. The fact that they got 4 years is pretty amazing.
Yes.
I mean, you kind of run out of stories on a show like that. It's just hard. But it launched. I mean, it was, people still do the nanu nanu and all that stuff. I mean, even after all these years, man, it left its legacy.
Pam Dauber was her name.
Pam Dauber. I was thinking Pam. I couldn't think of her last name.
Yes.
It's a good show. Funny.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great show. I enjoyed it. I mean, even as a kid, I enjoyed it. There's a lot of humor in there that I probably shouldn't have gotten or didn't get. But, going back and watching as an adult, you catch it. But, I mean, Robin Williams is. I mean, you can't take anything away from his acting career. I mean, the guy playing an alien, and Nanu Nanu, and as much as he ad libbed in those shows, and it just, he,
Well, he's a funny guy. I hate how he's laughing, and I absolutely 100% opposite of him in politics. He was very liberal, obviously, as a lot of
yeah,
entertainers are. And a lot of his comedy, he loved to make fun of politicians. That was back when that was pretty popular back at that time. But
but
if
he
you go
made fun
down
of
of
all
his,
the politicians, though. He didn't just pick Republicans. He got them all, though. I mean, if they stuck their
uh,
nose out too far, he'd get them.
he leaned to
Yeah,
attack conservatives, and he liked to use abortion in his comedy routines. If you watch the
yeah,
old Tonight Show skit, which are great, but he would always slide in things like that. That was planned. I mean, he definitely was using his status and his comedic talent to also do those things, and it was slick. I mean, I understand he's doing what he's doing, but he did attack some others. But if you go watch the old ones, it's pretty brutal. I mean,
yeah,
the way he attacks politics on the conservative side, but some of them might be considered more rhinos than they were
yeah,
even Republicans. I mean, because he went after the Bushes, and there's certainly problems with the way people view them now.
yeah.
But
But he was, as far as an actor goes, he was one of my favorite actors,
yeah,
and it all started there pretty much with Mork and Mindy when he got.
yeah, he was so spastic. He really had to work hard sometimes to even keep up with what he was doing. He would change directions so quickly. You didn't have time to absorb what he had just done. I mean, you'd have to rewatch it to pick up on some things because he went so fast with it. Him and Jonathan
Yes,
Winters were dynamic together. I mean, absolutely dynamic. Uh, and he gave Jonathan a lot of respect. A lot of
yes.
respect. They
You
both did
know,
to each other.
in the movie Good Will Hunting, which was a good movie, by the way, and he plays the psychiatrist. And and this is almost him playing straight lace. Uh, but the whole interaction he had when he was telling him about his wife and how she would break wind in her sleep and stuff like that. He shared a very personal moment,
Yeah,
and the reactions from I can't say his name, his co-star, were filmed, and it was his genuine reaction. He was just cracking him up, and he's making this story up on the spot. You know,
yeah, he could do that.
just cracking him up. You know,
Another thing, real quick here, as we're getting to the end of the show, is they both suffered severe depression. In fact, Jonathan Winters had a complete breakdown one time in his life.
oh,
Complete
I didn't know
breakdown.
that.
Yeah,
I
go
didn't know
back and read his story. He didn't work
that.
for a while, and he found some ways to have outlets for that. And then, but Robin Williams had his deep, dark, depressive side too, obviously. But yeah, and there really were alike. If you go back and look at Jonathan Winters, who was very young, there are a lot of similarities between the two. His mind worked the same way. He's very spastic, and his voices. He was a master at voices.
Yes.
That's how he got his start. Really, was the voice. But he there's a lot of similarities there. Unfortunately, for that part.
Mm.
Hey,
Well,
folks, join us tonight for Front Porch Talking
oh yeah,
live, 8
we
p.m.
going.
Eastern Standard Time.
I might have a guest pop in here.
Ah,
Uh, uh. We'll see. Maybe
we'll
I can
see.
talk them into it. Yes, I'm gonna try to talk them into it. They're gonna be here. They're gonna eat the food. They gotta come in here.
Ah,
uh, uh. Well, I know it's about that time. It's Friday, but you still have to get to work. You still have to drop the grandkids off at school. Oh my goodness, you got
I do, and I got to
brother
get
around.
to the Chattanooga Food Bank. We're volunteering this morning from our company, and so
Yeah.
we'll be packing boxes and stuff. So I'm gonna be headed there too in the rain. I heard it pick up again, so I'm gonna scoot, man. Good
I,
morning, everybody. Have a great weekend. Hopefully, you can join us for some of our weekend programming.
big old salute to y'all.
Salute. And our
And we
store will
will.
be releasing by next week. By next
Okay,
week, we're going to
cool.
drop the new store. We're still making updates, but it's coming live, baby.
There we
Live.
go. All right. Y'all have a great day. We'll see y'all back here tonight, 8 o'clock, Front Porch Talking. Salute, and we'll see you then.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.